Hello everyone, it's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. We're going to use the Romantic Tarot for your reading. I hope everyone had a nice weekend. It was very pleasant. I've nearly finished my garden. I've got a little way to go, but it's been nice because I finished yesterday. We finished yesterday, and the rains came. It was pretty well timed, really, right on putting all the new plants in. But it's starting to look really awesome out there. All right, so we have here the Eight of Wands coming through. There seems to be some sort of communication coming in. Something coming in rapidly. The Eight of Wands can talk about the arrows of love. Maybe you're sort of on the verge of, maybe you're communicating with somebody who you're feeling much love for or energy for, because there's communication going backwards and forwards here between two people on the airways, and I feel like there's love here. All right, let's see where these cards are so beautiful to shuffle. Shuffling easy. Two of Swords coming through. Some sort of decision to be made. All right, they want to get going. Yep, they split really easily. Let's see where we're going up to here. All right, so we have the Seven of Pentacles coming through. Today, my screen's going really, really bright. Okay, get a look at the wall. Ah, how interesting. Let's look at the wall again. That's probably where I need to be. The problems and the troubles and the strives and the worries. All right, so we have the Seven of Pentacles coming through. The Seven of Pentacles is a card that talks of manifestation, but it also talks of being patient. It talks about things slowly growing, things taking form, but that you're waiting to be able to bear fruit from something. It could be that you're becoming impatient with something that hasn't shown you perhaps something that you've wanted to see. Sometimes we grow very impatient. I mean, for some people, impatience may be several months. For other people, impatience may be several hours. And it's something that we have to learn, is to learn not to control, but to wait. There is something you are learning in some sort of situation here. And I feel like with the Eight of Wands jumping out in the beginning, maybe you're waiting on love, maybe you're waiting on news, but something you're waiting on here that you're becoming very impatient about. All right, so we have the Nine of Swords here. Something is creating a great deal of stress and worry for you. Something is starting to infiltrate your dreams at night, make you question things. Maybe you've waited for such a long time that now it seems impossible. Oh, I just sort of felt that feeling. It's really interesting how Spirit will show you things sometimes. But that feeling when you've waited for somebody to come back to you, you've had a great job interview, you feel really, really confident, you walk out, everybody seems so supportive, and you think, wow, I've got this in the bag. And then nothing. No call, no news. And you wonder, how long do I have to wait before I start to follow this up? And then you get to the point where you start getting very doubtful that you have, and you don't want to follow it up because you fear that you're going to be told no anyway. But you're in that energy of frustration, anxiety, not knowing, not wanting to know. This is where the energy is here in this card. It's like you've got to a point where you've waited for a long time. You don't really want to know anymore because you're scared that the answer is going to be no. And that's the fear you have here. This is what you've been waiting for. All right, so we have the Nine of Wands coming through here. Oh, boy, this is this energy of really beating yourself up before you've actually got beaten up. It's like you're kicking your butt before you've even had your butt kicked. This is very much that feeling of I want to say you're feeling dejected, sort of this feeling of loss before the losses come, or fear of loss before you've actually had loss. Is this your fear? Is this what's blocking you? Are you fearing loss rather than loss itself? Because that's what it feels like. Your fear is greater than the thing. Whatever it is here, whatever you're fearing that's in your own mind, your own heart, and in your own psyche, your fear is stronger than losing. Your fear of losing something is stronger than actually losing it. Your fears here are greater than the result. That's what's blocking some of you here. All right, so I have the Knight of Swords. There's somebody coming in with some sort of truth here. We have the Five of Pentacles. Right when you're feeling really disappointed, you've got abundance coming through. And the universe here is bringing you something here with the Star. Something that was destined for you. But you've had to realize what your block was to the very thing before it came to you. And this is something to do with your fears. This is really strange energy. Let me just see if I can get into it a little bit more for you. It's like you're blocking your own energy or blocking your own blessings because of your fears. But your fears are unfounded. So you've created an illusion through your own fear. You've created some sort of illusion here because you are worried about losing, or you're scared of losing, but you may not have even lost. I hope that makes sense, because it's like you are, it's like you're creating this blockage by not allowing yourself to lose. Your fear is of losing, not of the thing itself. Okay, let's see if we can get in a bit deeper for you. All right, so we have the Two of Swords coming through. Now, this did flip out when I was shuffling. The Two of Swords is a card that talks about some sort of decision here. This is exactly the energy I'm feeling. You know, this sort of implies that there are two different ways to go. But your fear of making the decision, your fear of seeing something for what it is what's holding you back. Not the making of the decision, not the path you're on, not the going down the path. Your fear is what's blocking you. So if you accept that you could have not get what you want, or you accept that it isn't coming your way, doesn't mean it's not, but the acceptance rather than the fear. So it's like the fear of losing is what's worrying you more than anything. That is your block. All right, getting deeper. Yeah, these cards don't show up very well on the screen either. All right, so we have here the Death card. Okay, now I see what's happening. You're being given an opportunity to let something go here. King of Pentacles energy coming through here with the Ace of Pentacles. It's funny, isn't it? Because a lot of us have like this energy of self-sabotage, fear of like not being able to achieve something. So because you're scared of not being able to achieve something, you self-sabotage. So instead of going with it, your fear of loss is greater. So you self-sabotage, or many of you will procrastinate here. There's an energy of making a choice. Do you let the fear go and move forward, or do you give in to your fear? There is something that needs to go here, some part of yourself, some blockage, some energy here that you need to let go of, because there's a fear that you're holding on to that is stopping you from going where you want to go. So that is your block. You have to work out then, what am I scared of? What do I fear? And if your fear is that you're going to lose at something, ask yourself why you are fearing that when the very thing that you want is not here yet. Because there's an abundance here. There's a brand new start. And for some of you, this is with a person, somebody who's a life partner, who's going to be around for the long haul. But this person can't come in because you're still holding on to something that needs to go. Some sort of fear. Fear of losing, fear of not getting what you want. Something has to be cut out here with the Two of Swords. All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune coming through. I feel like the universe is giving you a hand here. We have the Hierophant. Okay, with the Emperor. I feel like the universe is going to give you a hand. I feel like you're not quite able to see what you're doing. You're perpetuating some sort of cycle here. So it's like you get to the end of the cycle, but before you've learned the lesson, you're taking yourself right back to the beginning. So it's like you're giving up at a point, maybe giving up at the 10 before you started the new cycle, and you're going back to the beginning. So it's like the universe is taking you round again because you're not quite understanding what you're doing here. Something needs to be shown to you, and it has something to do with your long-term stability. And for some of you, this is around creating a lifelong partnership. It may not be around a particular person. It may be around some sort of energy, maybe fear of not finding a person, fear of not having what you want. But something here is blocking you from having what you want. Let's just get in a little deeper. All right, so I have here the Seven of Swords again. Isn't that making some entrances? All right, with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. Actually, we'll just take one. I'm going to take another card to put on the Knight of Pentacles, and I've got the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands. Wow. Okay, and the Judgment card. I feel like this is your judgment here. This is you going through some sort of judgment because something's got to go here. I feel like the universe is trying to move you, been trying to move you forward for some time, but you're not getting it. Maybe you don't feel that you have anything to work on. Maybe you don't feel that you have anything standing in your way. Maybe you're seeing it as the other person's issue or the other person's responsibility, and you're not seeing your own block here. What are you fearful of? Are you fearful of success? Because there's an offer coming through and it is on its way. But because it's taken a while, you're starting to fear that you don't have what it takes. So you're going to self-sabotage this before it gets here. And that means you're going back to the beginning again because you're not understanding the lesson. There is a rebirth that needs to happen, and it's within you. It has nothing to do with your external world. It has everything to do with your internal world. So it's like before you get to where you need to get to, you're already deciding you've lost and you're going back to the beginning. You're not pushing through the fear. All right. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So this implies you've been patiently waiting for something here. We have the Nine of Swords, something that's been creating anxiety and fear. Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands energy, blocking yourself. Some sort of fear, going around in circles, doing it again and again and again. Not realizing that you're doing it. So what you're doing is it's that energy of going, I don't deserve this, it's not mine, it wasn't real. And I'm pretty sure we had this similar energy last week. It's not happening. I don't deserve this. Everything goes wrong for me. What is my problem? And going right back to the beginning and starting all over again. Where is the faith and trust that you need to push through this fear? Because this is what's happening. You're going in some sort of cycle with this. So it's like every time you get to a certain point, you're giving up. So you're going right back to the beginning. And you're doing it all again. Until you get back around to the same point again, and rather than fear some sort of disillusionment or some sort of energy of missing out, you're taking yourself right back to the beginning. There is something here that is really making your, the Wheel of the Star card coming through. There is something here that's going to show you what you've been doing. You're about to see how you're self-sabotaging or taking yourself in the same cycle over and over again because of your own fears. Your fear of loss, your fear of missing out, your fear of not winning, whatever it is for you. You're taking yourself back around again. And the universe is waiting for you to allow something to go so that they can help you have a new start. I feel here there's sort of strong energy of the universe showing you something here. Something with the Seven of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Because they've sat together here. You're trying to get away from something. You're trying to get away with something with the Seven of Swords. That is the traditional meaning of the card. You're trying to get away with here of exiting the cycle each time before you complete it. You're trying to get away with it because you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to look the fool. You don't want to look like you haven't got it right. You don't want to seem silly. You don't want to miss out. What is it? Because you're going back around again. So if you have a look at this, the Seven of Swords is a card of trying to get away with something. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune, right, which is the karmic wheel. And what you're doing with the Seven of Swords is you're getting almost to the end of this cycle. And you're going right back to the beginning because you're not facing your fears here. There is something here that you need to learn to complete the cycle. That's why a lot of us are going around in cycles. Okay, we're going to read a card from the Energy Oracle card. Nope, cards. There we go. I love it when Spirit's determined to get a card coming through. We have the card of strategy coming through here. 21. Some of you are going to learn from something that's going to help you complete this cycle rather than going round again. Some of you are comfortable going round again. I bet you're doing the, why does this always happen to me? Why can't I get what I want? Okay, this card shows a pen, journal, compass and key. When you receive this card upright, it indicates that this is the optimum time for setting up a very specific strategy for achieving your goals. Write about the direction you want to go in. Consider any potential change in course that may be needed. Be aware of the particulars regarding your goals and have some conscious plan in mind. Structure the short-term goals needed to make your long-term goal a reality. This card is telling you to spend some time setting things in order. It's time to take full control, add thought to action and set your sights on the road ahead. So maybe for some of you, this is about understanding that negative pattern that you've been in, the negative self-talk, the negative energy. There is something here you need to understand about your own self-sabotage and about your own procrastination. And the secrets are in those two things. Are you sabotaging yourself before you've completed? Are you accepting things as they are rather than understanding you can change things? Because otherwise you'll keep cycling. You'll keep going back to the beginning. It's a Monopoly game. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. You can't get past go here. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.